We are here at Chambers Street subway station in New York City, at one of the most dilapidated and destroyed subway stations. And today we're going to be exploring the worst subway stations in New York City. Oh, that's gross. That's subway schmutz. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the city of New York. I am here with my boy Jacob Carlson, king of the vlog. We are here in Chinatown right now in New York City, and we're basically going to be exploring other aspects of the city that are the worst. If you don't know, for the last month I've basically been exploring the worst foods in New York City, but I briefly put a hiatus on that series because I got food poisoning last week. And so today we're going to move forward by exploring the worst subway stations in New York City. We're right in front of Chinatown's Canal Street subway station. We're gonna head on in there because we found a Complex magazine article that listed the worst subway stations in New York City. So that's what we're gonna be doing today. But before we do any of that, there's only one thing that we have to do, and that is roll the intro. All right, so basically we are starting this by visiting a station that me and Jacob both frequently use. This is actually our lines to our homes here in New York City. Yeah. Jacob's address is actually 349.
Trying to dox me, bro?
So we're hitting up the Canal Street JZNQ line station first because we actually know how bad this station is. It is very, very dirty, but we'll show you some of the grosser aspects of it. But I think this is gonna be kind of the lighter beginning to this video. So let's head on in. Are you excited for this?
Yeah, you just spit a little bit.
Besides my spit, do you have any fears going into this?
No, I go to the station like every day. I mean, it's not a nice station, but no fears.
All right.
No fear.
Let's head in. All right, so to get around today, we're gonna be using our handy dandy New York City Metro cards. All right, so I need to mention this station is extremely busy. It gets a lot of foot traffic, especially during rush hour.
Yeah.
It gets crazy in here.
It's a big transfer hub for the south part of Manhattan, because you can go from the J, the Z, NQR.
And so one thing, I think going down this platform that we're about to go down towards Brooklyn, there's always this weird stench. It kind of smells like garbage. And then also there's a lot of water always on the ground. So we're gonna look for kind of the grossest parts of the station. So particular today, I don't know why, for some reason, the station's actually not that bad. There's various amounts of garbage in the tracks and stuff, and there's water on the platforms, but for New York City being such a developed city and one of the biggest cities in the world, like for me, being somebody who's traveled around a lot of the world, this subway system is so dirty and gross compared to a lot of other cities around the world. I mean, I'm sure there's reasons for that are justified, but it's just to point out at that. So I want to clarify once again, it's not like a horribly dirty station. It's just, it's not a hygienic place, and if you're spending a lot of time of your day, like you don't want to just be looking at stuff like this, streaks like garbage and sewage just running down a train station all day. But Jacob did want to mention something.
Yeah, it's not necessarily something in regards to like how clean it is, but just the poor design of this specific platform. The stairs that lead to the J and the Z trains are like, they lead right into the platform, and to avoid people like coming down it directly onto the tracks, and I don't know why, but there's a bar that's right there, and it just causes so much congestion.
There's literally just water being pumped into the tracks. All right, guys, we are going to bounce off from Canal Street right now. We're going to jump to Times Square and then move all the way north up to northern Manhattan because we're gonna hit up some of the more, I guess, revolting stations as we go forward. I'm excited to explore this. So we just got off at Times Square, 42nd Street station. There's nothing particularly bad about this station. It did get my brain thinking. I was kind of interested in gauging it from you guys. Would you guys be interested in seeing a best of New York City subway stations? Let me know up above. There'll be a poll. Number 191. Ladies and gentlemen, we have traveled so far up north in Manhattan right now. At the top of the article of the Complex magazine, 191th, I keep saying one, but 191st Street station was rated, I guess, the creepiest. It took the #1 spot for their list, so we're doing this as our #2. And that's because there's a tunnel here that's supposed to be really creepy. So we're gonna go check it out. Oh, there it is. All right, well, this one's a bit of a doozy. We got bamboozled, guys. This tunnel's fine. It's well lit. Look at it, the tunnel's fine. It's absolutely okay. It's just, there's bright lights now. So I guess the article must be a little bit outdated. Maybe the city did something. I mean, look, I don't know what this is, but there's assorted sludge and slime on this wall. If you wanna, Jacob, you wanna lick this?
I would say, if you were to come here by yourself at night, you'd feel differently about how good this is.
Granted, the picture that they took in the article was at night. We're gonna walk the entire length of it and see if we find anything creepier, but I don't think it will be very creepy. So that is just the entranceway right there to the 191st Street. I guess it takes about 5 minutes to walk. And I guess the only thing that's kind of creepy or dangerous about it, I guess making it the worst station, is just the opportunity for danger to occur inside of the tunnel. And like Jacob has been said, and just not having the opportunity to get out of trouble if you are in there. Once you come in, you got to commit to walking it either way. It's not bad, it's not great, it's just, it is what it is, right? Jacob, you're gonna give us a little subway fact right outside of this very flamboyant station.
So see how it says IRT up there? It says IRT subway. I think that stands for Interborough Rapid Transit, if I remember correctly. But basically, the whole subway system used to be multiple different companies that own their own lines. You had the IRT, you had the BMT, and a few others, and they used to compete with each other. So they would build lines to try to cut off another company from building a line in another area. They tried to get as much service around the city as they could to different areas to make money. And it wasn't until the 70s or 80s, I don't remember, you have to look it up yourself, but where they combined into one company called the MTA, and now it's one big system. You can use the same card, the coin, whatever, to use all the trains, but they used to be separate lines.
Thank you for our factoid today. And it should be noted that most people in New York City, justified or unjustified, hate the MTA, from what I've gathered. So yeah, we're going more north. We are heading to a station called Dyckman Street now. As we got some more rats. So we've made it to stop number 3 or 4 now. This is Dyckman Street station. The only thing that the article really mentioned about this place is that robberies are pretty frequent here. I don't know how true that is. It might be a little bit worse. It also mentioned that the MTA kind of abandoned the station to you know, like graffiti artists, and that it's really dirty and stuff. There is a nice amount of trash on the edge of the station, but it's not something so far that is like really, it's not like mind-blowing. Doesn't seem too sketchy. All right, I'm naming this thing the Dyckman Tunnel. We're heading it down. We're going in. We're exploring the Dyckman. Oh yeah, that's that. All right, we have made it to our last stop on this worst train station, subway station tour, and bam shika bam bam. I think this is actually probably the worst one.
It's one of my favorites.
Yeah. Jacob said he specifically need to come here because it does look really bad, right?
Yeah, it looks really bad, but it's one of my favorite stations just because there's so many different layers and levels, and I love abandoned places, and it has like an abandoned place vibe.
Yeah, everything, from what I read on the Complex article, to reference that again, it said a lot of dilapidation, a lot of dirt.
Oh, they got a construction wall. All of that over there, they put up construction walls, which means they're probably fixing up the station. But all of this was like just gnarly abandoned stairs that like you'd fall through if you went through. It was bad.
I mean, you can tell that is a rough looking area, right? Just right there. That looks pretty bad.
This whole center platform, this whole center part is just inaccessible. They don't use it for anything that I know of. You can't get there. So. Let's go up.
All right, we are going to progress up Chambers Street Station and see what else we can find. Jacob was looking over and he spotted a mannequin right down there. Look at that, guys. Also, there's absolutely no shortage of rats running around this station. Jacob was mentioning as well that anytime you see kind of these gray pillars with cement in the middle, you know, alongside the tiled pillars, it means that part of that just crumbled away and then they replaced it with cement to fix it up. Look at that. They store track lubrication in here. And this platform comes all the way down to the edge and it kind of splits into two here. I guess what's most shocking to me is that this place looks fully abandoned. If there weren't people here, I would not be surprised if this place was abandoned and it's still totally in use. Like, there's probably tons of people who come through here every day. Look at that, guys. I can hear tons of rats just running around in here. And this specific corner, guys, smells like poop. It smells like actual human poop right here. Jake, you want to come smell this corner? Oh, God. I don't know why I'm subjecting myself to this, but it smells really bad, like right here. I feel like there's probably like some dead rat bodies in here.
It all has some Subway schmutz.
Oh, no. What about my head? Do I have any on my head? Because I've been getting hit with Subway juice this whole time. Oh, that's gross. Oh, that's totally.
What does it taste like?
That's Subway schmutz. That is our Subway to get home. We're gonna bounce off. We're both heading back to Brooklyn. Jacob, thanks for joining me on this adventure, man.
Thanks for having me.
It's good. All right, let's go home and end this video.
The next stop is Canal.
So this is my subway station, Marcy. Hold on.
Okay, lucky. I like the A1 best.
This place isn't sketchy per se in the slightest. For me, it's just become home now. But it's here in Williamsburg, and it's funny how progressively the further east or west you travel into this neighborhood, it becomes more and more relaxed. But just this little area here by the subway, I guess, is sketchy-ish, especially late at night. That being said, it's the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. It was an interesting take, very easy to produce this video. I'm kind of excited to try to do the best subway stations because I guess this was less representative and more negative. You have to remember, we're doing a worst of video, so we're focusing on the most negative aspects. I'm sure that in every one of those stations we could have found something good about it. But that being said, I am excited to do a best of. So if you guys want a best of, just let me know. Please make sure that you check out some of my worst food videos. I got food poisoning doing some of them. That's why I've stopped doing them for now. So please go check them out and send them some love. Follow me on Instagram if you want to send me suggestions and stuff of videos to do. And if you want to support this channel, you can buy some merchandise on screen or in the description below. Get some Clap merch, it'll keep you warm. I'll see you guys in the next one. I love you a long time. Goodbye.